We are Embrace the Suck 21.
Yes, we are.
I'm Spencer.
And I am Daniel.
Coming at you with more Billy Connolly.
Highly requested.
Dwarf on a bus.
There's no way this can top the old lady off the bus.
And as a school bus driver, I definitely appreciated that one. I've never had that happen to one of my students, so I hope to God that I don't. You must take a lot of buses. Yeah.
Oh, so anyway, my sister told me this. And she swears that it's true. And I hope it's true. And if I tell it right, you will hope it's true. My sister is a retired school teacher. And she supplies herself to people who don't have teachers. She's a supply teacher. When somebody is sick or dead, she'll supply herself. and a lot of her friends do this as well.
Okay, in America, that's called a substitute teacher.
Supply teacher.
Supply teacher.
That's awesome.
Okay, that's another vernacular difference there. When I lived in Virginia, I actually applied to be a substitute teacher.
Oh, man, that would have been awesome.
Would have been Mr. Joyce.
Mr. Joyce.
Worst teacher of all time. I could barely contain myself on a school bus. You don't want me in a classroom.
Oh, no, definitely not.
No.
And her friend told her this story. And when she told me the story, I thought I would pee myself. I was in New York where I live, and she phoned me, and I fell on my phone's next to my bed. I fell onto my bed. You know that way you laugh, your legs won't work right. And I told my wife, I said, Flo just told me the funniest story. I'm going to tell my audience this. It's about a dwarf. And she said, well, you can't, Billy. You can't do that. I said, why? She says, because you can't say dwarf. I said, why the fuck not? I'll be talking about a dwarf. Surely you can say dwarf when it's a dwarf you're talking about. She says, they're little people. I said, but little people and dwarfs. There's a difference between a little person and a dwarf. One of them's a fucking dwarf. And they both know which one it fucking is. Don't give me that shite. So I decided to tell it. Her friend was going to supply herself to a school somewhere. And she got on a Glasgow bus. Oh, please be true. And she sat down, and it just happened to be the last seat. And the bus took off and trundled off into the day. 4 or 5 stops later, the bus stops, and a wee dwarf woman comes on. I've now compounded the felony by calling her a wee dwarf. She wasn't a particularly small dwarf. She was just a dwarf-sized dwarf. I'll probably get all sorts of complaints now. Dear Mr. Connolly, I saw your otherwise excellent show. What a pity you descended to the dwarf story. I, personally, I'm a member of the Tall Dwarf Society. I'm 6'4". I'm proud to call myself a dwarf. I also do impersonations of chocolate biscuits, if you're ever stuck. Anyway, the wee woman got on the bus, the wee dwarf woman, and discovered there's no seat, and so hung on to whatever was nearest, the seat to the pole or whatever, and the bus took off. There was a wee schoolgirl in a school uniform sitting over here, probably urged along by her mother. Give the woman your seat, give that woman your seat. She went over to the wee dwarf woman and she said, excuse me, would you like to have my seat? Whereupon the wee dwarf woman flew into a rage and said, oh, aye, because I'm a dwarf. You're offering me a seat simply because I'm a dwarf. Well, I have managed my whole life as a dwarf. It's not a problem to me. Keep your seat. The girl, cringing with embarrassment, went back to her seat, and the bus trundled on in silent embarrassment for a stop or three. Then, oh, please be true, a big Glasgow woman was getting off the bus. And before she went up to the door, she went over to the wee dwarf woman. She said, I'm getting off the bus and I'm leaving my empty seat here. Because I'm a dwarf? You said, no, not because you're a dwarf, because you're another human being. I happen to be leaving the bus. My seat is vacant. I'm merely pointing it out to you that it exists. As a matter of fact, I thought you were extremely rude to that wee girl and you owe her an apology. As a matter of fact, I hope when you go home tonight, Snow White kicks your ass.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Dude, what the fuck?
No! Oh,
That's funny.
demonetized!
I believe that. If there's any place where that would happen, it'd be out there in Glasgow. Glasgow.
Glasgow with a Z.
Glasgow.
God.
Oh my
No
God, that's
way.
fucking awesome.
Oh, 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh man, it's not politically correct at all, but I don't care. Oh, I saw.
But you can't say dwarf.
But like, I saw a couple comments. It's like, oh, the guy on the right seems to just be enjoying it, but the guy on the left is a softy snowflake. I'm like, come on, guys. I'm just commenting of like how. I guess my manners as I've taught as a child are hard to unlearn.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm drawing on.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So like, but goddamn,
That's funny, man.
Comedy should not be censored.
No.
Anything
Yeah.
can be laughed at.
Yeah. I hate this to overly fucking sensitive people.
Yeah.
They have no place. Oh no, sorry. Everyone has a place. Comedy isn't a place for them.
Right.
You can be overly sensitive on shit that, like, fucking whatever, but not comedy.
Right.
Leave comedy alone.
Yeah,
Everyone can laugh at shit.
You gotta laugh, and you can make anything funny.
Yeah. At least talented comedians can make anything funny.
Exactly.
And that's what he is.
It's how you construct the joke.
Yeah. That was great, man.
Yeah, that was great. Let us know more Billy Connolly to check out, because that was awesome.
Hell yeah.
And thank y'all for liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting the bell, and sharing with your friends.
Definitely.
Until next time, wash your hands, scrub your toes, wipe your ass, blow your nose.
And embrace the suck.
See y'all next time. Fellas, we could be that mistake. Let's do this.